H2K Infosys provides world-class online IT training, staffing, and software testing solutions to customers worldwide. H2K Infosys, how we are different from our competitors. 100% job-oriented training, hands-on project work, cloud test lab, resume preparation and review, mock interviews, robust syllabus, one-time fee and lifetime access to classes, access to recorded sessions of live classes. H2K Infosys has won the trust of thousands of students worldwide. For a free demo class, visit us at h2kinfosys.com.
So let's start now. Do you guys hear me? Can you just can I get a confirmation from all of you that you can hear me? No one can hear me? Okay. Thanks, Rashmi. Thanks, Pratima, Shalini. Okay, Sri, KY. Who's KY? Okay. All right. I got some information that you guys are able to hear me. I would request other folks also please type in so that I make sure that no one is sleeping in the class. Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Madhu. Okay. All right. So we in the previous session, I think we spoke about a list. We spoke about a set. Okay. And we spoke about the tree set also. Okay. So those are more or the less, it's kind of a collection wherein you can use those collections in order to add multiple objects to it, and you can iterate through. And the time you iterate, you can even do a class cast, and you can access those values accordingly. Okay. So we have seen those examples as well. Okay. The time when you did a for loop, where is that? Okay, so when you do an iteration, right? So you can even use an iterator also here. Give me a sec. Okay. All right. So you can use an iterator, and if you, let's say you are using a string here, so for that reason, whenever you use an iterator, iterator dot has next, you say iterator dot next. So you basically iterate through each and every element from the collection. Okay. And you have to typecast the particular class, which one you want to use it. Okay, because again here, whenever you see iter, that is you are nothing but your iterator. Dot next is going to give you an object. So from now onwards, you'll see a lot of objects and everything. You have to cast to the actual object by using your class cast. Okay. Now, the same thing you'll be seeing in your advanced courses also. So I would request you guys to get more familiar with what is a casting, why do we need to do a casting out here. Okay. And in the previous class, we even spoke about how to order this, right? How to sort this particular string. So the moment you say you can use your a tree set, so you can sort it. Okay. So there are different ways of even sorting it. There are a lot of other APIs also, but we will just try to understand a couple of other APIs. Okay. Okay. Now there was a question. All right. Now, before even getting into that, let us see when I talk about a list. Okay. So let me take up an example out here. So new class. I'll just say about fruits collection. Okay. Now, by the name itself, you are saying that you are collecting a list of fruits. Why list equals to new array? Why not list equals to new list? Or list equals to new? KY, can you just type in your proper name, please? I would request you to do that. Or you want me to call KY to you? Keith. Oh, Keith. Okay. Yeah. Keith, did you miss out your last class? No, I think I did specify in the previous classes about this, but again, I'll just give you an overview of this. In the previous sessions, we have even spoken about accessing your Okay, in the previous sessions we spoken about whenever you want to create an instance of a class, okay, just try to create an instance with the help of the interface. Okay, so it is something like you can say list, and even I have told that list is not a class, list is an interface. Okay, so Keith is asking me why not we can say list equals to new array list. Okay, which is not sorry, list equals to new list, which is not feasible in Java because you cannot create an instance of a interface. Okay, I can say array list equals to new of array list. Okay, so I'll just show you a couple of variations here. New array list. Okay, this we can do it. I just say Control Shift O and I just import the util package out here. I can even say list array list 2 equals to new array list. Okay, I can even say in both the ways. All right, I cannot say list equals to list 3 equals to new list because we cannot create an instance of an interface. Okay, now even I have been telling you from the very beginning that always try to access a particular class with the help of the interface. This is a kind of it is an interface pattern. Okay, so it comes basically with your design pattern itself. Okay, so always try to access your class using the interface because you know that array list is going to somehow it is going to extend your list interface. Okay, if you say this somewhere down the line, it is going to implement your list interface. Okay, I think I missed out somewhere. Okay, so where is that? Okay, you can see here. All right, so your array list is going to implement your list interface. So for that reason, you say list equals to new list. Okay, now here when I say list equals to new list, new array list, I can say fruit list, right? Now let's say I'm just going to add say something like public void add fruits. I'm just going to have a method add fruits, and in this I am going to give an object. Okay, and let's say I want to say obj, and let me do one thing, just watch closely out here. And here I'm just going to say here I'm just going to create a list out here. Okay, this I'm going to create it outside of this class, and I just want to say fruit list dot add what, add of this object. Okay, so what am I doing is I from the, let me even create a method out here. Okay, anyways I've already created this, so let me say in this case fruit collections fruits equals to new fruits collection, and with the help of this reference dot add fruits, whatever I want to add, I want to add an apple. Okay, so let's say even I can create a apple class also, I can even add this. Okay, so let us talk about only strings right now. I added apple, I added banana, okay, and orange. Right, now if I, after adding it, I just want to print that, so I just say sys out. Okay, and I want to print that particular fruit. Okay, let me say fruit dot fruit list. Right, so I could have done it in the same same main method itself, but I just wanted to segregate that, so that I want to say here add fruits itself here. Okay, so 3 times I call add fruits, and at the last when I say system.out.println fruit.fruit list, it is going to give me the list of fruits. Right click, run as Java application. Okay, run as Java application. Right, I get apple, banana, and orange. Right, now here you're specifically talking about a fruit here. Right, but what happens if suppose as you know this is a client program and I'm trying to add list of fruits to it. Okay, I just wanted to hide this out, so I just wanted to add fruits, so I added the fruit out here. Right, so now what I'll do is I'll just try to add a integer out here. Okay, new integer of, let's say 10. Correct, Now when I say new integer of 10, that does, while during a compile time it doesn't give any kind of issues, okay, but even your runtime at this, for this example, doesn't give any issues, okay. But the time when you try to iterate this, okay, we know that at the time when you iterate this, you know that your fruit, okay, so your fruit is going to give you a list of fruits, but in the list of fruits there is a integer out here, right? Now this will definitely going to give you some kind of runtime exception, which you have to handle it accordingly. Otherwise, first of all, the question is why do I need to give you an access to add anything apart from strings, okay, or anything apart from fruits, okay. Now what am I going to do here is, the moment I am going to create a collection, I want to specify what kind of collection is that, okay. We'll talk about different things also, just try to understand this. So the moment I'm going to create a collection out here, I'm just going to say this collection is going to be of type string, okay. Now this collection is going to be type string, okay. Now here I told that I created a collection, fruit collection. The type is actually string, right? Now if you can see here, let me even take this out. So I'm saying here, instead of object, I'll just say here list of strings, and I will try to add the string out here, okay. So I'll just add a string here, okay. Now if you can see, when you say list of strings new equals to new array list of string, the moment you say fruit collection add of string, it is okay. But the time when you say add fruits, so obviously this is going to be a string, so it is not going to allow you to put an integer out here, okay. So only thing what you can add is, you can only add a string out here, any kind of string, okay. This is just a short example. Even if you just take this very plain and simple out here, if I just create an array list out here itself, let's say I'm going to talk about this, okay. I'll just give you one more example also, just stay tuned. So if I say public void add list, okay, and I'm going to create a fruit list out here again. Let's say if this is not a fruit list, this is going to be a computer list, okay. Now I'm saying all the name of the computer should be in the form of your string itself, okay. So I just say here computer list, okay, dot add. I cannot add anything apart from strings. So if I say double quotes, it is okay. But if I say dot new of integer, okay, of 10, it is going to give me a compile time error out here. What it says? It says the method add string is in the type string is not applicable for the argument integer. Okay, so this is kind of we say this as a generics, okay. In collection we are using a generics out here, saying that when you say list of strings, you can only add strings to it, okay. I'll just give you one more example out here. Let's say we are going to deal with a list of persons out here, okay. So let's see if we have person anything as such. So access modifier, okay, I'll take this person, okay, and I'll create an instance of this person, and I'll try to push couple of persons to a collection, okay. So let me even comment this out and say public void add person, okay. So this is a method which is going to, I'm going to say here person. So let me import this. Okay, so I have imported the person so that I can use this out here. So person per 1 equals to new of person, okay. Now, okay, I created a person here. Let me see, I'll just give a name and an age and SSN, okay, name, age and SSN. Okay, now I want to create a list with a set of persons out here. So what should I do? I need to say here list person, okay, person list equals to new array list, okay, and person out here. That means you're saying that whenever you're creating a collection of person, you are specifically talking about a person. You cannot add anything apart from a person. So if I try adding list, person list dot add, now if you can see here, when you say add, automatically person is coming out here, because in when you have declared this, that point of time you have given a generic information saying that this list is going to take a list of person out here. Okay, so I say here add of per1. Okay, what if I say new string? It is not going to take it, even though if I say person list dot add double quotes, it doesn't take. Only one thing it takes, it only takes a list of person. Okay, so here if I say person p2 equal to new person j2, whatever it is, so here I just need to say dot add p2. Okay, so what happens basically when you use it in this way, right? Now, if you remember in the previous session, we have used a list. Let's say if I'm not using a generics out here. Okay, so let me just copy the entire stuff for now, comment this out and use this out here. Okay, so just imagine that I'm not using any generics out here. I'm just using my plain simple collections out here. Okay, now in this collection I added person, I added I can even add anything else, but let's be more specific. We are only going to add a person list here. Okay, now how do you iterate this, right? So in order to iterate, you know that you can use a for loop, right? I don't want to put that for loop. Okay, so let's say in this person there is age, name and SSN stuff and all, and I want to access those things, right? So in order to use a for loop, I just say for int I equals to 0, I less than person list dot size, okay, I plus plus, and I say here sys out, okay, or otherwise I say person list dot get of what, I, right? After even saying get of I, what is the return type of get of I? Return type of get of I is an object out here. Okay, so if I say object out here, all right, now I cannot say object dot any of those methods which is present in your person. I want to get the age of this particular person, right? So I cannot say object dot get age. That we have already seen that, right? So in order to get that, I have to say in specific person out here, and I have to cast this particular object to person out here. Very plain and simple, which we have already seen. Now I'm able to access this one. Okay, so if I say sys out, I can even access all the age of all the persons out here, right? So if I just try to access this static void,
a vast virus database
okay,
has been
so
updated.
from the main method, I'm just calling this one right now. I'm just commenting this out. All right, so the moment I call this method, so right click, run as Java application. Okay, right, I got 30 and 30, right? So because I've given 30 here, 30 here. Okay, now what did I do here? I got that object, and that object again I have to cast to a particular class, right? So this is a kind of it's an operation which takes some amount of time to me. Okay, first of all, if there are a bunch of objects, my performance goes down in this case. Okay, but when I use a generics, let's say, let us go back to generics right now. Okay, so let me comment this out and enable this line for me. Okay, so I did enable this line right now. I can still do the same kind of for loop here. Even I can use enhanced for loop. I hope everyone knows what is an enhanced for loop, right? Now here in this case, if you see here, when I say get of I, Initially, when I was not using a generics, it was giving me an object, but now the return type of your get of I is nothing but a person here, right? So if I say here person, okay, I have no problem. I don't have to cast this particular object to its own type. Reason, already we are using a generics. We are saying the list person equals to new of array list of person. Okay, there is no need of having a casting out here. Okay, first of all, no need of casting. Second, I cannot. It is not going to allow you to add anything apart from your person itself. Okay, so you say here that I'm using a generics, and I'm just using a generics to make sure that during compile time also I'm making sure that the object which I'm trying to add is of that particular type. Okay, now the same thing goes for, I say person per in person list. I directly access that. Okay, I just say sys out per dot get age or name or whatever it is. Okay, so sys out if I say sys error, there is, we can even say sys error also. Okay, so this is a static variable out here, so I can just access it directly. Okay, so if you see the error, when I say error, it is going to give you something in the form of your red lines. Right click, run as Java application. Right. So in Eclipse, whenever you have anything as error, it is going to print in your red lines. Okay, this is just to tell you as an output that okay, this is an error. All right. So if you want to say anything in specific, if you want to put that in a catch block, and if you want to add some SOPs, you can use your errors out there. Okay. Now, this is what we spoke about generics. When we talk about maps, also we'll talk about the same generics out there. Okay. Now the question is, there was a question last time, how we have even seen how to sort a string, right? Now there was a question which popped up in the previous class, how do you sort a particular object? Okay, so let us see that right now. In the meantime, let's see if I have cover up everything out here. Okay, let me do one thing. Before that, let me cover up the map. What is a map? Okay, and then we will get into the sorting out there. Okay. Now, if you see, we have spoken about list, right? In list, you basically have a list of objects, all right, and you can have a particular kind of object in that, right? In a list also you can have multiple objects, doesn't matter, right? It is again growable. By the way, every object, I mean every class in your collection class is your growable. Okay. Now we'll talk something about a map. Now what is a map? Map is nothing but it's a combination of a key and a value pair. All right. Now in case of an array list, there is no combination. It is only one object per index. Okay. But in case of a map, it is something like a key and a value pair, right? So in order to get a key and a value pair, what do you need to do? You need to say map equal to new hash map, all right? And in that case, you just say map dot put 1 of 1, 2 of 2, 3 of 3, 4 of 4, okay? Now, in case of your array list, if you add, let's say, let me put it here itself. List equals to new array list. I just say here list dot add one, 2. Okay. So what will be the output of this? I hope everybody can answer this. The output of this is going to be 1, 1 and 2. Okay, so it's something like you add a new object to the list and you are not going to override this particular object which is already present in your list. Okay, so this is how basically list works, right? Now what if you do the same thing in your hash map? First of all, let us see the output first and then we'll talk about more something about the hash map. Okay, map. So I just say sys out and map. Okay. Right click, run as Java application. What do you get? You just get 4, 1, 2, 3. And now if you can see here, in case of an array list, right, if I just print the same array list out here, sys out list, right click, run as Java application. I say 1, 1, 2, the same 1, 1, 2 came up over here. But here I said 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 first came, 1, 2, 3. Okay. There is no order in your map. Okay. So you cannot specify, you cannot say that the order which I have added, the same order I'm going to get it as an output. Okay. So just note it down. Now, the next concern, I say 1. Okay, so let me just rule this out. This is not required, just to give you a heads up that what is an order out here. Okay, 1, 1. So this is the key, this is the value. You can see here, this is the key, this is the value. All right. Now, what if I uncomment this? Now, if I run this, right click, run as Java application. My 1, the one which I added was been overridden by hello out here. Why? Because the value which you gave, you have, and it is going to keep a unique key. Okay, the key cannot be duplicated. All right, it is very similar to like your primary key. So this key can never be duplicated out here. All right. So if I say null, I can even use a null. Can even use a null value also. Okay. So right click, run as Java application. Okay, so the key null null. So if you can see, as I said, it takes only one key. So here, even though you add multiple keys, so it is only going to take only one key, and it is going to override the existing keys value with the second one, the way you have overridden here. Okay, just keep this in mind. Now, how basically this map performs. All right, so it's very important to understand what is the use of a map out here. All right, now with the help of the map, what I can say is I am creating a list of person. Okay, so I'm just saying here I'm creating a list of person. Now, what is the use of map, which I'm going to show you right now. So let me copy this and copy this. So I created a list of person out here, right? Remove this, okay, even remove this. What do I need basically is I need a map of, let's say, object, okay, object map. Now in this object map, what am I going to do is I am going to put this key as a person right here. Okay, let me say person list, and the value is going to be a what? Can anyone tell me what the value is expected out here? I want to say here person list. Okay, now why did I add a map and add a person list out here? Okay, I'm just telling you the functionality of a map. Why do you need to use a map basically? Okay, now here when I say a map here, right, I am able to use a map, and I'm just saying map.put a key and a value. Now key, I can have any kind of object. Here in this case, I'm just using a string out here. Okay, I'm saying a person list, right? Now if I create a new class, let's say fruits, finish, I just say here public string name, let's say private. Okay, so right click, source, generate getters and setters. All right, and let me have a constructor also. this dot size equals to size, this dot name equals to name. Okay, now what am I going to do? I'm just going to create a list of fruits also, right? The way I created a list of person, I'm going to create a list of fruits also. Okay, fruit 1, or let's say apple equals to new fruit. So this is going to be your name and size. Okay, name is going to be apple, sizes, let's say 10. Okay, I'm going to create one more fruit, orange. Okay, size is 11. Okay, now these two fruits I want to put it in a list. Okay, so what am I going to do is I'm just going to say create a list of fruits. Okay, and this is your fruit goes here. Fruit list, and the same fruit list I'm going to put it out here. Okay, copy this and paste it. Right, now if you can see here, when I say usually what happens in practical, in your application you want to send a list of objects, okay, list of objects to another program, right? So I can just say here, I'm just saying put of key and a value. This key could be anything. Let's say here in this case I'm using a string, and the value could be a list of anything, or the value could be any kind of object, the same object. Now if you can see, I'm using an object map. In this object map I'm using a list of person, I can use a list of fruits, I can use a list of any kind of object out here. Okay, so here this case I'm just commenting this out. Okay, and if you just print this, the object map, right click, run as Java application, you again get the key out here. This is the key, and the value, you know, it is a person list, so you will be not getting in the proper way unless and until you override the toString here. Okay, now how do I access these values? In order to access the object I, instead of using an index, it basically takes the name of the string itself, name of the key itself. Okay, so here in this case I'll just say here sysout object map dot get of person list. Okay, now I know the person list is actually a list, so let us, if I run this application, what's going to happen? Right click, run as Java application, I'm going to get a list of persons out here. Okay, so this person, as we have not overridden the toString method, it is not actually giving me the proper values. Okay, now here you can do anything. Now if you want to access something like the list of person, I have to say get of, if you see, it is saying get of person out here, get of object out here. Okay, so it is saying get of object because we have not used generics. If I use a generics, I'm going to get a list of persons out here. Okay, so here in this case I did not get a person because I'm just saying get a person list. Now what is this person list? Person list is nothing but your list of persons. So I'm just going to take this, I need this as an output, person list, okay, equals to 1. Now if you see here, at this point of time again I'm getting a compile time error out here. Okay, why? Because the one which I added in the map, what did I add in the map? I said object map dot put of key and a value out here. Okay, now what is this value? This value is of type list. Okay, now here it is, but the time when you say get of something, okay, it is going to give you an object. Now how do you cast this particular object to the list person type? Can everyone type in the comment chat what should I write here in the brackets? Should I say person, or what should I say here? Adil, Amir, Florence, Keith, Kirti, Lydia, Madhu, Meghalata. Can you guys just type in what should be the answer out here? Person list. Okay, I got person list. Adil, I think I missed out a couple of chats out here. So if you guys have any questions, please type in the questions again so that I can discuss those things. I think my chat window got stuck at some point of time. Okay, so I got an answer person. What if I say person out here? Okay, now what is this? What is this person list? It is not a person, right? It is a list of person. I'm just giving you hints out here. I still am expecting the correct answer out here. Okay, if I say list. Okay, so list actually worked out for me in this case. All right. Usually when you talk about generics in particular, you say list of person. Okay, because you are basically talking about a list of persons. So you can use your generics out here also. Okay, you can use the generics to cast a particular object to a particular type. Okay, so here in this case I got a list of person, and here again I can just say for person per in person list 1. Okay, I can access the person dot get age. Okay, so this is how I can use my map. All right. Okay, now when you talk about how to iterate a particular map, right? So we have already spoken about how to iterate a particular collection, particular array list. So we basically use an iterator, right? So if you want to use an iterator in case of a map, how do you do that? You basically use map.entrySet.iterator, so which will give you a iterator. On that you can basically iterate the complete map. Okay, so let me just copy this. Okay, so you can, there are different ways of doing it. You can I'll just show you one by one. Okay, so in order to use an iterator, you just need to say java.util.iterator. So which is the map for us out here. So this is the map for us. So let me take this map and paste it out here. Okay, so here I just got the map here. I just say map.entrySet.iterator, right? So when I talk about an entry set, it is going to give me a list of map.entry. Okay, so in your map, okay, if you see this map, there is a class inside a map. All right, sorry, there's a class inside this interface. All right, now whenever normally in Java, if you have a class inside a class, that is nothing that is known as your inner class. Okay, now here in this case you have got a map. Inside that you have got a class here. Okay, that is, you basically say it is a entry set. Okay, now the output of this particular entry set is nothing but it is going to give you a map.entry.key, map.entry.value. Okay, for each key it is going to give you the values as well. So this is one way of iteration. You can iterate using your object map.entrySet.iterator. Okay, there is one more way of iterating. I can use a for loop also out here.
H2K Infosys provides world-class online IT training, staffing, and software testing solutions to customers worldwide. H2K Infosys, how we are different from our competitors. 100% job-oriented training, hands-on project work, cloud test lab, resume preparation and review, mock interviews, robust syllabus, one-time fee and lifetime access to classes, access to recorded sessions of live classes. H2K Infosys has won the trust of thousands of students worldwide. For a free demo class, Visit us at h2kinfosys.com.